Howdy, folks, and welcome to Moose Podcast number 360. How you folks doing? Trust you're doing well. Temperatures are slowly coming down. Seems like storms are starting to just be kind of more friendly. So I hope you're out there enjoying what seems to be our last breath of summer. We even have one of our aspens here at the ranch starting to actually turn color and lost some of its leaves. So, hey, great light is around the corner. Well, I appreciate you taking a little bit of time and spending it with me. Means a lot to me. Once again, we are still using the Adobe Podcast Beta. They're using they haven't cleaned up or modified or improved their voice filter. So I'll be really dying to hear what this sounds like when we get done. I am not sure about the transcript. It is going to be done, and it will be there on the podcast blog post page on the website, moosepeterson.com. So, let's get with it. Bedford's Camera. Hey, you know those folks? They've got some hot end of the summer deals. They've got some great trade-in deals. In case you want to move up to like the Z8 or Z9. That Z9 still my favorite body. Love that. And they've got coming up in November PhotoCon. Just another one of their great opportunities to learn more, get inspired, meet more people, see some gear firsthand, great deals, and of course you tell Moose sent you, you actually save more on those already fantastic deals. Now, I heard this last week, things were a little quiet, and it was kind of weather and other social events related. So, hey, let's get those folks up. Let's unquiet up. Let's get them busy taking care of our photographic needs. Bedfords.com. Thank you so much, Bedfords, for sponsoring the Moose Podcast. I'm going to get right into this week's episode. Gotta make it happen. Yeah, once again, I've gotten some emails, and they get me sometimes spooled up, sometimes inspired, sometimes depressed, at times self-reflective, and this time I'm not sure exactly where I'm at. Well, this person has a lot of talent, has a lot of inspiration, no self-confidence, keeps turning to what I think are personally not really positive influences, trying to find that path in not only their photography, but in the business of photography. I'm not going to give away the person or what they do, but they have a unique genre that I think is really is really killer, and I want to really support them. Couple emails, they've gone quiet. Hopefully they're listening to the Moose Podcast. This was actually coming to you. I'm going to repeat a little bit what I've told them and then add on to it. But here's the beginning. Here's the start, right? You got to make it happen. There's no if and buts about it. People who wait around for their phone to ring, and of course, that's taken on a whole new connotation with the iPhone or what have you, but sit around for that phone to ring to be discovered. Yeah, no. Doesn't happen. I mean, photography and the web, they are not the field of dreams. Just because you take it or you make it doesn't mean they're going to come. Now, photography is a dream. It is a dream world. It is a dream business, but it does take, a bit of work. It takes some effort. It takes some sacrifice. It takes persistence, because you got to make it happen. So one of the questions they ask is, how much do I shoot? As in, how much does Moose shoot? I shoot a lot, and it's kind of nonstop. I don't go to different photo agencies and grab their photographs to illustrate my articles. I don't use AI to generate my illustrations, photographs for articles. I go out and I shoot. For example, just this past week, in just one day, in a little bit, around 8 hours, shot over 20,000 images. Yeah, at C9. I didn't even change batteries. I mean, it is something you have to understand. So how much do I shoot? I shoot a ton. Can I put a number to that? I cannot, because as I tell many photographers to go out with me, especially when it comes to bird photography, it just takes one photograph to light me up. One bird, and I am satisfied. Do I keep shooting more? Of course. You can go back to past podcasts and, just because I got that shot doesn't mean I can't do better. Something more unique won't show up. They can't come together with great light, and I want to know that's going to happen. So I keep shooting. Do I shoot every day? Do I shoot every day photographs that I think have a value to either myself and or the market? Not every day. I do pick up the camera still every day and practice my hand holding. In that process, I do shoot. And a lot of times, if it's just practice, I just format the card and keep on going. But in a 7-day period of time, probably only the smallest block of time I could, there's at least 500 shots that I have taken and that get filed on the hard drive. So I hope that kind of answers the question. How much do I shoot? Because then the next question they followed up with is, how do I shoot so much? Well, there you go again with you got to make it happen. How do I shoot so much? If you just barely scratch your imagination, open your eyes and your heart, there's a ton out there to shoot. And that's why I have for decades been sharing what little I have learned, because I want other folks to go out there and photograph the things that I know I will never have the ability in my life to see. And I need you to go out and get those shots and then share them with me so I can learn more about the world we live in. There was a photograph posted, I guess, within last week, and it was taken by one of the either Voyager or one of the guys way out there, one of our probing satellites. And it showed the Earth. And this big, let's say it's an 8x10 photograph. And it showed Earth, and it was as smaller than a pinhead speck of light. And it's like, wow, talk about putting everything in perspective. We're this little microdot in this incredible, huge universe. And then you get back down the scale of Earth, and I think about what I've been so fortunate to see and photograph. It's a top of a pin amount of what this Earth has to share. So I need you to go and fill in those gaps. I'm really curious. I love to learn about things. So that's really what drives me. So how do I shoot so much? It is that incredible curiosity to see and witness as much and then bring back those stories. Oh, God, I remember being so young and stupid and really arrogant and said, yeah, I don't take notes because I'm going to remember everything. Yeah, what a bunch of bullpucky that is. I don't remember everything until I see my photographs. They are a means of, capturing memories and then bringing them back. I want to see your memories. I want to hear your stories. Now, this person went on to say that if only, they said, if only I had the money. And my question back, which I did get a response to, if you only had the money for what? Yes, it's so true, that old saying, it takes money to make money. That is really true, and especially in photography. But you got to make it happen. Now, I've always been point blank jealous of folks who, I'm inspired and I admire people who have put in their time in a 9-to-5 job and able to then retire and enjoy their hard-earned time away from a quote unquote 9 to 5 job and the money to buy camera gear as they want and or need. Because when it comes to buying gear, right, I have to go out and make that money. It's and I know I've believe me, I hear all the time that I get all my gear given to me. Yeah, that's how the IRS sees it too. Not anyway. So if only had the money to do what? Well, if it's time to go out and take those photographs, I can understand that because time is money. But you got to make it happen. No one's going to do it for you. That phone's not going to ring, and someone's not going to offer you a whole lot of money to go out and take pictures because I've been there. I've done it. Now, this person had bit into that, and it just drives me nuts how many people have. You know, you build a website and people will come and then you're going to make money and you're no, it doesn't work. Yes, you will, and there are plenty of examples of people who have built that website and have sold that 1 or 2 photographs. That is not going to set up an IRA that lets you go out and travel to your heart's content and take pictures and be set for life. The photography is like any business, and you can't sell from an empty cart. You constantly have to have that library of images to make it happen. And to make it happen, to buy the camera gear, you've got to make it happen. And then to have the time to use that camera gear, you got to make that happen. And then you could say it's a vicious circle. And there are days where I guess in my mind, I kind of get the feeling it's a vicious circle, but man, it's not a vicious circle. It is just the business of photography. And there are some photographers, truly, really gifted ones, who are just brilliant behind the camera. They're brilliant at business. They're brilliant with people. And they have earned and made a great life for themselves and their family with that camera. But, you know, the number I can think of in my sphere of peers who I talk and communicate with, could count on 2 hands and maybe a foot. And considering the thousands of photographers I interface with, that's a really low percentage. That thought came to mind. I was talking to this delightful person, a female left seat captain for Delta. And in aviation, there's not a whole lot of women. And just like, you know, there's not enough women photographers. And I said, I think that's really cool. I'm congrats. And she said, thanks. And there's another person there, a youngster, and she said, well, I want to be a pilot. She's only 11, and her name was Sprout. She was just a delightful person anyways. And the pilot said back to her, she goes, well, just so you know, there's about 16,000 pilots in the Delta system at the moment. There's only 500 women. You got to make it happen. Whether it's photography or anything else, it really starts with, continues with, and ends with you, okay? And when it comes to photography, you have to learn all the aspects. And I'm not saying in this you have to be the best. You have to master them. You need to learn them, though. And that learning process, say it once, said a million times, you will fail. That's an opportunity to learn more. And you got to make it happen. You have to recognize that. You have to be, at times, your hardest critic and your biggest fan leader. You have to go and make it all happen. From every click, from the camera to the computer to the phone. Yeah, that phone. You have to get out and you've got to make it happen. You have to make the phone calls. I shot an event this last week. As long as it's in my camera on my computer, it's now been saved, preserved, and it's a very unique piece of history. But there's no one on this planet, not a single soul who will know that it happened or I had the photographs of it happening if I don't pick up the phone and rattle cages and say, hey, I've got this story. I've got this photographs. I want you to share it with your readers, your audience. Let's make this happen. It is something that I think too many photographers take for granted. They don't go out and make it happen. You have to make it happen. And you can use me, for example, for a lot of things, some good, some bad. But the one that I really want you to think of is the fact that I was a guy who started out, and another photographer told me that I should go back to pounding nails. I'd never make it as a photographer. And yet here I am, all these years later, making it happen. I'm here to tell you, you can do it, but you got to make it happen. You folks have a marvelous week. Enjoy what's coming down to be the end of summer. And remember to go out and make every click your story.